Okay. Think I lost you on the first one. Hey, Christy, how are you? How's the weather there? Are you in Tennessee? I had to start this over. Um, Kathy said she was going to try to make it today. Okay. I'm going to tell her I started over. Hey, baby.
Hey. Can I be in it?
Sure, you can be in it.
Yeah.
Logan's with me today. You might hear Hayden. He's in his bedroom
Playing the video game.
back there. He's playing the video game. He gets a little loud.
Because he's screaming at it.
Yeah, he's screaming at it. I'm not sure why.
Because he loses every single time.
You're still in Alabama going through stuff, too much stuff. Let It Go is my theme song. Yes. When I was in California, my sister has been going through all of the old family photos and she's been scanning them all. And she decided that every one of us siblings have a box and she's scanning them first and then she's throwing them in the box depending on who's in the picture. She said, I just have too much of this stuff and I'm going to share it with everyone. And that way she doesn't have to store it. She's trying to downsize and she's had a couple of really good yard sales, good stuff. And so yeah, scaling down. I'm going through the farmhouse now. I've done four rooms. I'm still working. Next is the kitchen. Hey, you are on the right one. I'll go back and delete that other one. But I really got to get this figured out. I just feel so lost when I get started. But once I get started, I can talk to people, but it's just getting it set up.
Nana got a new helper.
Yes, Nana has a new helper. Well, who's my helper?
Lily.
Oh, her name is Lily. Isn't she sweet? Yes.
She got one.
Oh, Christy, you found your grandmother's Bible. That is really nice. I also found my grandmother's Bible going through a trunk that I had all my mother's things in. And it has my grandmother's Bible and it also has my mother's. I can't remember who gave them to her, but the same person gave her the same Bible. And they're those great old giant white ones, huge. Um, but I have to finish going through the trunk because I need to look and see, what was written in the Bibles, if anything. Some people are bad about getting one of those big family Bibles and not writing anything in them. So, and I think I did write in mine. Um, Kathy, I just realized that you and there's one other person that is my mods. Uh, the last time I didn't have any, and I did have my first troll. So I took care of it, but yeah. So, Christy, do you have a timeline when you're going to try to get over completely to Tennessee by the end of the year, maybe when it's cooler?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the type of Bible it is, Christy. It's that really giant one. It's like 3 inches deep. It's so big and heavy.
Nana, I found my baby.
Oh, yes. Yesterday, we're trying to get ready. My daughter-in-law is already, and my son, they've already gone back to school. So I have the kids this week. They go back next Monday.
And when we was cleaning our room one day, when I was cleaning my room one day, then I found my baby from when I was little.
Yeah, her little
And
baby blanket.
I slept in my bed all by myself today.
Last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
I
is, Kathy.
snuggled my-
It's hard.
I snuggled with my snuggle buddy.
Yeah.
Her name's Honey.
This is Honey.
Honey.
Yesterday I told the kids that I would give them a treat if they would clean their rooms, because they had literally. I wished I'd have taken a picture of it.
The big birds are back. The big black birds are back.
Okay, we have big black birds that's been to the pond today. Christy says, I just got a message. My helper is moving is on the way to the ER. Possible pancreatitis again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's awful. Oh, that's very painful. Very painful. Oh, yeah, Kathy, summer is a lot shorter than it used to be. I remember we never went to school until after September the 1st. And I mean, to go, I think last year or the year before, they went back the middle of August. Well, this year it's July. So, I mean, they're taking more and more summer away from the kids and us, because then that means you have just a very short window if you want to take vacations, doing things with the kids and grandkids. You really don't have a lot of time to schedule it. So my helper left. Somehow I ended up with the bunny. Oh, so yeah, the summer is so short, and you're trying to gather up school supplies, and the school supplies have barely hit the stores, and so I think it'll end up being shorter and shorter, and we'll just go to year-round school. Some areas in California, I know, and maybe some other states do year-round school, where they get 1 week off every 6 weeks or something. They may all do it differently. Um, yeah, we didn't go to school until after Labor Day. That was it. I mean, so of course we probably didn't miss as much school as we have later. Hey, Brandy's unboxing. How are you? Kathy says I'm getting mine today for the rest of the week. Um, what did I miss? You're getting what? I know you are doing a fantastic job with that sun oven. I am jealous. Definitely jealous. Um, I may have to start doing that. It's so hot. We don't have heat and air in the farmhouse. It went out, and I knew we were going to remodel, so I didn't replace it. Not until I get ready. But it's so hot in there. Oh my gosh. I've got big old fans at one end of the house and blowing all the way through, trying to get some trying to get some circulation. I got all the windows open. Got them all. What are you doing, Brandy? And how's the weather where you're at? Today I think we're like 86. So it's much cooler than it has been. Although now it's pretty much burnt my garden because I was gone for 10 days. And oh, you're saving on electricity. Yeah, that is exactly right, Kathy, with that sun oven. I'm saving on electricity. I'm just not cooking. So if I can't do it in the toaster oven or the air fryer or heat it up in the microwave, that's about all I'm doing. Because we're about to start on the kitchen, so I've got to get the rest of the pots and pans and all that stuff that I'm not keeping And I am thinning out stuff that I have not used for years. It's just taking up space. So my notification for the live just showed up. Really? Well, I probably messed it up. That's probably why it just now showed up. I'm working on it. Tomato plants are struggling, but there are tomatoes growing. Yeah, I've got a few tomatoes, but they're just not as sweet as they were even a month ago. Um, I had 18 tomatoes, and like I said, I was gone, and there was really nobody to tend to it because my kids were with me. My husband was trying to take care of all the animals. I got a glare on my glasses. Um, he was trying to take care of all the animals plus working, and it was just he couldn't take care of it. So I kind of lost. I do have purple hull peas growing. The bees are still fine. Tomatoes are drying up. The pears are about to come in, and they just they don't really need a lot of tending. Kathy, you said you got a shop for casserole dishes. Um, I think the only casserole dishes I ever had was either those glass Pyrex or what were those Corelle that had the pretty flowers on them. Some were blue and some was harvest gold or something, and so there was all kind. I'm thinking that's what they were, but they had lids, and I loved them because they had lids. So those would work really good if they weren't too large. I haven't ran across any in my kitchen detail yet. Um, yeah, I think I need to go ahead and start getting ready for my fall garden, but I've got so many things going on, and I still have a problem with a predator. I was really worried while I was gone because, there was nobody here during the daytime. Um, my daughter-in-law was here, but, she was having trouble watching, all the properties and checking on the animals and all that. Um, yeah, going to the thrift store, Kathy. I think you can find some Corel ovenware dishes. I always see them up here. Um, so 2 nights ago, showed up a fox and a big fox and a little fox. So apparently she's teaching her babies to hunt, or at least one baby to hunt. Um, I have found some duck feathers, so they have had some duck. There may have had some chickens. Last night I got another notification, and it's bigger. They are coyotes now. And when I first saw it, I thought, well, that looks like the rear end of one of my dogs. Because, at night it just gives you shadows, it doesn't give you colors. Um, but my dogs were pinned up. They were not down there where the camera's at. So now I have coyotes. Yesterday I went and bought another infrared light. So guess what we're going to be doing this weekend? We're going to be setting up that little hunting blind out in the middle of the pasture, and if my son can't do it, I guess I'm going to have to do it. He's got a rifle with a scope on it, and I have some smaller pistols also, but um he usually I watch for them. When I see them come through with the infrared light, then he beads down on them, and it at least tries to scare them off. But I don't think they're going to be scared off because the neighbors have said they're missing ducks also. So they're eating fat. They are. They're eating fat. So, but I mean, I have to do something, or they're just gonna take all of them. They're just gonna take them all. So, needless to say, I'm not sleeping really well because I just now catching up on my 3 hours of lag time with the jet lag. And now I can't go to sleep because I'm worried about, what what's going to happen, because if you're not out there to run them off, then they're just going to come in and they're going to scope out what they want to take away next. Yeah, I know you would, Kathy. You would definitely take care of them. We could sit out in the pasture in the middle of the night and watch. And the crazy thing is, I I pinpoint when they're coming in. Um, Usually around 3:30, I see the first sighting, and then around quarter to 6, when it just starts getting daylight, then these are when they're leaving. So they're coming in a different direction, but they're going out in the corner that I originally saw them. So somehow they're coming behind the camera. So I really need to reposition it. But in the middle of the yard, I don't have anything to do because the cows think it's like a scratching post and they keep moving the camera. So I have to put it up high enough that they can't get to it, because they're extremely curious about that camera. Christy says, even though I'm in the city, I get coyotes occasionally. If sirens go by, they yip and howl in the woods. Oh, really? Now I hear them all the time. It sounds like a pack of 20 at times in the woods. Now we have 15 acres, 9 of our acres are wooded, but there's probably 200 acres past that are just used for um, they sell off the trees and stuff. So I mean, it's pretty much just wooded areas. So they can hide. Um, let's see. Brandy says, I miss having chickens. They used to be my focal point for my panic attacks. Yeah, isn't that great? Animals are really wonderful for support animals. Um, I actually rehomed 2 baby goats for a young man down near Savannah, and he was uh, he saw his brother take his own life in his front yard when he was like 16. Well, he was 21 and he was still having PTSD. His mother drove up here 3 hours one night because she had heard that I had babies. And they wanted to try the baby goats. Somebody had told them that they were good. Well, she drove up and she bought him his first baby goat. And a couple of weeks later, she drove back up and got the second one. And she sent me a message that it was working. He was focused on his animals, and they live in his trailer with him. They sleep in his trailer at night when they were babies. Now they're big now, so they don't sleep in the little trailer. But he he ran a car lot, a used car lot. So he had a trailer on the car lot. And so now he's fixed it up and people love to come and pet his goats. And so he has a different focus now. And so it really worked for his support animals. So he has 2 baby goats and it works. It just works. So chickens are the same thing, but I'm losing chickens from the predators. So, I have so many, it's hard to tell who I'm missing, but I know I'm missing ducks because instead of being 6 on the pond, there's only 4 on the pond. So I know they've taken a couple. And, but they're 20 pounds. These goats are huge. So I don't honestly know um, how they're dragging them off. So, um, somebody is calling. I thought I had it turned off. Um, yeah, she says I'm having connection issues. Am I lagging? Have you noticed? Because Donna wasn't been able to get on. My fiance shot himself on the phone with me when I was young. For a long time. I couldn't handle hearing a gun. Yes, isn't that's awful. Um, oh, I got a troll. Um, to take care of those trolls. Um, but yeah, Well, I could take I think it's opened up enough now that I want to start a program to take animals, just lap animals to nursing homes. Um, we have a local nursing home that, everybody, uh, yeah, Christy, tell them to get a job. I thought we need to get them out of there, don't we? Um, good deal. Yeah, they need to get a job. So yeah, I was talking about, am I lagging? It just seems like that I was having trouble with connections, and Donna, she may be. I'm gonna tell her I started over. Maybe she's on the old one. And Donna may be having connection issues because she is at, where's she at? She's camping at um, Mammoth Lakes. Um, So yeah, I'm jealous because um I haven't been able to go camping in a long time. Oh, Brandy, the same troll. I guess it's computer generated. It's probably not a real person. It's just computer generated. Christy says, "Oh, the residents at the home I work at love the animals. We had a one-eyed cat, a rabbit, and turtles that lived there. Oh, they actually lived there. So they didn't just visit, because mine would be, I would just have to, um, take them over there. You know, uh, they wouldn't be able to handle living at all. Now, our our we have three really big events coming up in our county. One of them is the Sportsman Festival. Then we have an ice cream social, which is first. It's in August. Um, and then we have the Christmas parade and stuff. And I would love to take some animals and do the parade, but gosh, I got so many irons in the fire now. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to handle what I got to do besides something I want to do. So isn't that the way it always goes? So let's see. Brandy says I prefer animals over humans. You know what? Believe it or not, I see very little humans on the farm. Um, when Kathy comes in, Kathy, Living Miracle Homestead, when she comes to visit in town, she has a friend she's been friends with years. Some of you know her, Miss Wilma. Um, but she doesn't get on her channel very often. She's just way too busy, I guess. But when Kathy comes to town, I see her. I see Miss Wilma. I go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings and once a month. Um, besides going to the grocery store and anything else that I go into the gas station, I really don't get out much. Church is right next door to me, so I could just walk over there. But I just don't get out and see humans a lot. Most of my interaction is with the animals. So, you know, they don't talk back. Now, if I displease them, I wish I could get that off my glasses. If I displease the goats, they'll just butt me. Before I left for California, I got in the way of, I was passing the alpaca, and he tried to kick the goat, and he kicked me. But they have really soft pads on their feet, so it didn't really hurt too bad, but it was kind of sore for a couple of days. But that was about that was about all my interactions with unhappy animals. So most of the time, if you feed and water them, you give the pigs a mud bath. Um, you love on them. Although when I did come back, My dogs actually missed me because when I came back, I was fixing their water, and Bear, of course, he's 8 months old now. He just came up and he laid his big old heavy head right on my leg, and that's all he wanted to do was just lay on me. And if I would have given him a chance, he would have been up in my lap. And then Dakota, she's 5 months, she's almost 5 months old. Hey, treasure woman, how are you? Um, Dakota's almost 5 months, so she doesn't want to be outdone. So she sits on my feet. So I'm actually just sitting out there. I've already done the watering. I'm just sitting out there and letting them love on me because they miss me. So good. I'm glad you're good, treasure woman. Um, Remind me what state you're living in and how's your weather? And of course, I'm terrible with names. I've been making a cheat sheet list, trying to remember everyone's name. So it does take a while to remember everybody, but I'm trying. And Kathy, are you working today? You're just taking a break? I can't remember if you work every day or not. Um, I don't feel like I'm lagging anywhere. Nobody said they were lagging or buffering or whatever, or bad connection. Although I only have one bar. Christy says she has a Pyrenees mix named Charlie, lays that big head in my lap. It is heavy, isn't it, Christy? It's a heavy head, but he's so precious, and he's like a big soft pillow, and that's all he needed from me that day. Was he just wanted to lay his head on my leg. And so yeah. Well, Kathy, names, I don't know why it's hard to remember names, but I do know a lot of channels now over the last year and a half. Um, so I'm trying to remember everybody's name. It does take me a while because everyone has a name behind a channel, and so it's kind of hard. But but anyway, I did medical billing when for about 20 years, um, when my kids were little. And honestly, I could remember account numbers, which were numbers, all numbers. I could remember account numbers, and each one of the children would have a different number, and I knew which children went with which account. And it's crazy. I could remember that stuff because I did it every day and for years. And I could key that stuff in, I mean, really fast. So I don't know where all my skills went. I guess you know, I retired when I was, oh gosh, it was in the 90s. So I was like 45, but I retired early, and I was able to. And he says, you don't have to work if you don't want to. And I go, okay. So I could stay home and do what I want, although I did not have any animals then. Christy says my clients at the vet clinic laugh because I call them by their animal names, like Lala's dad. Yeah, that's right. It's like when you have children, you're always someone's mom or dad. You don't really have your own personal identity. Oh, Lolo, your mother's here. Hey, you're back. Is this Donna or is this Steve? And Steve's probably still under the weather. But now, oh, you're on Steve's iPad. Okay. Did y'all see any more bears? Um, like I said, they were camping. Someone was camping, like someone they knew, and they sent them a picture a few days ahead of time. There was a bear up in the back of someone's truck going through their ice chest, and it was a small bear, but it still had a lot of claws, and I don't want to no more. Oh, yeah. So Donna's got a few days after I was over there, and they entertained me for a week. Um, we did go to Vegas, and we did play the slots a little bit. That was fun. And what are you sitting at? There's a lot of ground squirrels and chipmunks. Yeah, when you're camping, I could take the ground squirrels and chipmunks before I could take the bears. Um, I don't do vicious animals. Well, maybe the bears aren't vicious. They're just looking for something to eat because people do feed them when they're not supposed to. Christy says, I think this crazy weather has wild animals on the move. Yeah, you know what? Um, let's see. I think they're in Mammoth. Uh, they are just over the hill. There's a troll back. They were just over the hill of the fires up. I think it's Yosemite. So, and a couple of their days have been a little hazy. So they're trying to, you know, stay safe and keep good air quality while they're camping. But it was, I think it's just a light haze. It's not heavy because they are kind of over the mountain a little bit. But so yeah, they almost canceled because of the fires that are up there. You definitely don't need to be breathing that. But there's not as much wind as there has been unless you live up there. Yeah. Um Kathy's getting rid of all the trolls. She gets rid of them, but I still see them on my end, so it confuses me what I have to do. Um, but it tells me that she's gotten rid of them. Um, maybe I can put him in timeout and he can't come back. Um, but anyway, so that's what I've been doing between packing up the house and worrying about these predators that all of a sudden seem to be everywhere. Yeah, Christy, they just keep coming back. Hey, Twin Brook Acres, how are you? You are not a troll. No, you can stay. I don't have too much trouble with trolls, but today seems to be the day. Um, yeah, Donna says, how's the coyote hunting? Well, it's not going, but I'm ready. I've got my infrared light. We've got our rifle with the scope on it. Um, the only thing is I can't take any coffee down there because it'll probably smell the coffee. And I don't know if I can do without my coffee. Um, but so yeah, but it takes two of us to be down there to, you know, to be watching them and trying to get rid of them. But that I have to be careful because I've got neighbors on one side. And sometimes he goes down to his pond and it's like right in the way. But I'm figuring he's not at the pond at 3 a.m. when they usually start coming through. Occasionally the fox will come around 12:30, but they don't ever come together. So it's like they're playing tag. One will come and then a couple of hours later another different one will come. So I think they're not really social to each other. Although I have seen them on the trail cams before where you can see them two or three critters walking around, possums and raccoons are there together. Oh, Logan got ready for her debut. She
I put blush right here.
she put blush right there, and
I put my new bows in.
she's got new bows
Pizza bows for school.
for school. Yay! Yes, Christy. My son calls him and says, is that you? We can hear some shooting over there sometimes, and he'll say, "Is that you shooting?" and he'll say, "Yeah, I'm down at the pond." So we do let each other know when we're out. But like I said, this is 3 a.m. And if he goes hunting at 3 a.m., he will let us know, and we'll let him know that we're on the hunt because they come through his yard to get to us. So um,
My mama got me these bows and this bow that's actually a hair tie. I was trying to put it in, but I couldn't.
she couldn't get it in by herself. Look at those pretty bows.
It's a pencil and an eraser.
Oh, it's a pencil and an eraser. Okay, somebody made those bows. She loves to wear bows when school starts.
Kind of.
Love it, huh?
Mhm.
And Gummy says hello.
Hey, Gummy.
She can't see you. You got to get over here. There you go.
Hey, Gummy. Thank you for the gift.
She gave you a gift?
It's a doll.
Oh, the doll. Oh, yes. Gummy found a vintage little porcelain bisque doll. She's going to go get it for you and show it to you. And she loves the doll. Christy says, when I went up to my property and a neighbor was hunting on my land, oh, really? They need to ask. I could have been there with my grandchild. Yeah, when they know you're not there full time, so they just help themselves. And unfortunately, it happens here too. So, if you're gone and they know you're gone, then they just help themselves like it's theirs. Let me see the dolly. This dolly belonged to our mother. She picked it up somewhere.
And it's glass.
It's porcelain, bisque.
I told Nana that it's kind of scary.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, because if you lift that up, then.
Well, if you lift that up, then I need to tighten up her little headband thing is loose. But I think she's a pretty little girl, and she's not very big. She has bisque feet, these old-fashioned bloomers, and someone has handmade. It looks like someone's handmade these clothes, but you can't see her fingers. Her fingers are in there somewhere.
Found them.
She does have them still.
Yes, she got long. She got long things.
Christy says very pretty.
Thank you.
And she has pretty hair, but and she has a cloth body, so you know that it's an older one when it's not plastic, but it's a stuffed cloth body. And but
Hayden, my brother and me make our own videos, and we each post 2.
yeah, they've made their own videos.
Hey, Bubba, get.
They've been doing their unboxings, and they're so excited because they get to unbox these toys. And Miss Christie says they're very pretty.
Thank you.
I don't know if she's talking about the doll or you, maybe both.
I think she's talking about the doll.
Maybe both. Tell them what grade you're going to be in school.
First.
First?
Yeah, and I'm 6.
She's 6? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I see you got them, Kathy. Thanks. Yeah, I remember some of my dolls. I think when I was her age, that's really all I had was handmade dolls. And if we had not a bisque, a ceramic, there's another medium that was used to, some were just plain cloth. And I honestly think I had a doll made out of corn husk way back. And before we even got real dolls. But our mother made sock monkeys and, whatever she could find to make them out of. Oh, you had the same problem. Twin Brooks used to walk on the trails of my land with my granddaughter, stopped when I found the hunter's stand. Yeah, because if they've got a stand hidden over there, you never know when they're in it. But like I said, we have we have 15 acres, and the first year my son he would put his cameras down there. Someone kept taking the SIM cards out of the cameras.
Helper.
They didn't take the cameras, but they would take the SIM cards
There's
out.
Hayden.
There's Hayden. That's my other young one. These are the two youngest grandkids. Their
Hayden
mother,
don't like being it because he's playing him, but
their mother's the teacher also. Yeah. And my two middle grandchildren, their dad is the teacher.
Come back. Please.
Those are the two that are still teaching. Although my daughter and other daughter-in-law, they're teachers also, but they don't teach any longer. They gave it up a few years back. Twin Brooks said, finally caught him, told him to call me first, and he never came back. Oh, that's good. This was a younger lady. We talked and I gave her cookies. Oh, really? You made friends, Christy. Kathy says my aunt made everybody in the family Raggedy Ann dolls. Yeah, that was the one I was trying to think of, was the Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy. We had both.
I got my stuffy.
Okay.
My other bunny.
Gummy says to tell Hayden that he's a handsome boy and you two have fun at school next week.
I got two bunnies.
Oh, listen. The kids cleaned their rooms yesterday. I was telling you earlier. Yeah, she was hungry. Sock monkeys, yes. The kids cleaned their room, and I told them that their mother would probably cry if she came home from school and they were actually clean, because she's been trying to get them to clean them for 2 weeks. And she told them she wasn't going to go in there again. And the next step was just going to scoop it all up off the floor and throw it in garbage bags. But the kids, it took them about an hour apiece, and each one of them helped each other, which was nice.
Our dad said if we sleep in our own bed by ourselves, then when we get a lot of money, then we can get a bunch of toys and stuff.
Yeah, they're earning chores. Each one of them, there's a list, and they each have a certain amount of dollars already.
Each day that we sleep in our bed by ourselves, then we get $5.
No.
Daddy said $5 on our thing.
I think it's $1 a day. They've been trying to break. Hayden sleeps in his own bed, but Logan has a thing about getting up and going into their bed. Y'all all know about that.
No, you're not supposed to be telling nobody.
I'm not supposed to tell anybody that they do that. But me and my sister, we slept in the same bed until we were like, I don't know, 13 or 14 years old. There was only one bed. We didn't have a choice. Christy says, my daughter used to say to her brother, Mom warned you, now it's in the trash. Yes, I have done that. I have picked up all of the toys on my middle son one time, and I put them in a trash bag, but I put them in the attic because we had spent so much money on them. I felt so bad to throw them out. And so he did eventually get them all back. And if he wouldn't pick up his room, he had a really hard time with clothes. And it would just be piled up.
I got my coffee.
And I told him that I was going to just start picking them up and putting them in the trash.
I got my coffee.
Got coffee?
Yeah.
No, she doesn't drink coffee.
I drink soda.
You're not supposed to drink soda either. Christy says, now I know some of those toys sell high. I know. And back when our kids were, 8, 9, 10 years old, we had a new baby, her daddy. And, it took everything we have to, do Christmas, because like most of us, we just live either paycheck to paycheck. We put a little bit away, but, and I don't know if we made the kind of money that we did back then, we would not be able to survive because of the prices now. There's just no way. Everything is just, and some of it, honestly, I just say I don't need it that bad. It just really bothers me. Some of the prices that they charge for things. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just being stubborn, but I just call it, survival, I think. But oh yeah, and I trimmed my first sheep. I have not got it ready for the video yet because um he was very matted, so I had to cut all the mats off. Um, but he didn't like laying down, so I had to stand him up, and he actually did really well. But it got too hot, and because we did have to cut all the little mats off, so I'm going to go back and trim him up a little bit, but I don't want it too short because we're late in the year getting
I
him
had to
trimmed.
put all my breath on him because he was sticking his tongue out like a dog and breathing.
Oh, that was the sheep. His name is Jack.
Jack,
And
Jack and Jill went up the hill.
yeah, Jack and Jill, but we renamed Jill and we call her Marilyn now.
Wow.
Just because
Yeah.
but so we
I got
we
credit
did we did get some of it trimmed off, and I had to go and get a new pair of hand shears because the electric shears are so heavy. Not all of us have that kind of strength in our hands. So, but as soon as I get him trimmed up a little bit more, and I've got to do a little bit more on his face, like I said, it got too hot and we had to quit. Um, but so, I mean, at least he'll be comfortable. And I mean, he was just panting. It's been really hard, but so I got it done because I couldn't get a shearer to come. So that's one down. And now I know what to do. And how about going to it? I feel a little more comfortable now. But for some reason, the kids were helping me. Casey and Nikki, they were helping take off some of the matted areas around their belly and bottom. It's just yuck. And so I'm gonna do that twice a year. I'm gonna trim the bottom end and stuff. It's called crutching, and you're supposed to do it twice a year, especially before the ewes have their babies. Then it makes it a lot easier for them to find what they need and to keep them cleaner. Kathy says, never let our kids do that, but my sister did, and they were doing that until they were in their teens. They would go and slip in and sleep on the floor. Yeah, some kids are like afraid of dark, and we had to do it when they moved in with us in the farmhouse. We only had one bedroom extra besides ours, so the children had to sleep in their king size bed with them, just because we had no room. So it's our fault for getting them in that habit of doing it. So, and it's taken a long time. And sometimes they fall asleep on the sofa. And if they just leave them there, they'll wake up in the middle of the night. But she actually slept in her bed all night. So he's trying. He's really trying. Christy says, I used to use sheep shears to clip big dogs. Those old ones were workout. Yeah, there's I mean, the ones that I got, they say the blade is 7.5 inches, but so is the handle. So they're heavy. I did go and I got some titanium no stick, um, because the lanolin in their fiber is just, it's like cutting through grease. And but I mean, it protects them, and that's what it's all about, but them being protected. But so I'll get it done, and I told them now I could do it by myself. If y'all don't want to complain about the heat, so as long as I have a halter, I can tie him to a fence. But the only thing is, he liked it when someone stood behind him. Um, he was more calm if someone stood behind him and just pressed on his rear end just a little bit, and he just stood right there like a champ. So it was much easier. The second half was much easier. I was able to save a little bit of the fiber that was clean from his back, And I'll have to process that. That's one more thing on my list of things to do. Gosh, Kathy, today is really a bad day. I'm going to have to make sure I check that live stream and only let subscribers in if that's what's going to be. Because they're taking up our whole conversation, aren't they? Twin Brooke says, haha, Christy, I used to do the same thing, then lay in bed frightened afterwards. Yeah. I mean, I never slept alone until I was a teenager. Like I said, if me and my sister, we had to sleep in the same bed. And when the boys were babies, it seems like I remember them sleeping in our beds also. And especially if one of them would wet on us, that was always a nightmare. Christy says Alfred Hitchcock and the Twilight Zone. Yeah, two of my favorites. But I was never scared at night. It's just we had to sleep together because that's all we had was one big old. We had, what do you call those? They weren't box springs. They were just springs, spring mattresses on. It was a really old vintage wrought iron bed even. So it was not really that comfortable, but that's all we had. So we didn't know it. Yep, those two come to mind, Christy. Yep. And The Outer Limits, that's the other one. Hey, Chuck and Belinda. Or is this just Chuck? How are you? I missed your live the other night. I keep falling asleep. I'm still struggling with this jet lag, and maybe because 4 hours of sleep at night is just not enough. Donna says our mother watched those shows and Dark Shadows. Yeah, she loved Dark Shadows. I guess it was vampires. It was about vampires, but she would come home and watch Dark Shadows. That was before we had video recorders, so you just had to catch it. Hey, Chuck. And people that came to the live were falling asleep too. Oh, that is not true. You're not boring. You're actually very entertaining, and I like your voice. You sing well too. Barnabas Collins was the actor in the show Dark Shadows. Angelique, that was the I could always remember her. I don't know why. But Christy says I used to watch Dark Shadows after school. Yeah, because it was a soap opera. It really wasn't it wasn't like the other ones, the Alfred Hitchcock and the Twilight Zones and the Outer Limits. It really was like a soap opera. So I only watch one soap opera now, and I don't have cable TV anymore. So I really don't get to watch The Young and the Restless. I'm sure something's going on that I need to know, but I'll just have to catch up. The kids are taping it for me, but whoever has time to go over there and just watch a marathon of a soap opera. Of course, you could just watch once a week and know what's going on anyway. So I guess, is anybody got anything they want to talk about? Anything going on that y'all are planning? After school starts, maybe? Donna says those shows were made down in LA and some of the Universal Studios. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Most of the time we only had a black and white TV, so it didn't really matter. It still left a spooky type, feeling when you watched them because you just never knew who was going to be lurking around the corners. But yeah, we didn't watch that much TV. Honestly, I don't think we had a TV until maybe we were maybe I was 13 or 14. Oh, you're losing signal, Kathy? Yeah, I'm about to get off. I appreciate y'all coming. Chuck says school has started over here. My granddaughter started kindergarten, praying for the teachers. Yes. This is my granddaughter's first year in kindergarten, in first grade, but she does very well. Her mother is on the same hallway, and they know that if she messes up, mama comes to visit the class. So she knows when to keep it in line. Kathy says she's gonna have to close it out. Of the truck comes back and you'll have to get him yourself. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. But so yeah, Chuck, the kids, our teachers went back Monday. So and the kids go back next Monday. So y'all started even quicker than us. In Georgia, we're a little behind everyone else, I guess. Um, but I just say it's just such a short summer that I didn't even get to take the kids fishing because either they were gone on vacation or we had to go to California. Um, it's just the summer's gone, and we really didn't. I didn't get to do anything. They got to go to the beach, but I didn't get to do anything. Kathy says, I got him this time, but I'm cooking. I have to go off. Okay, well, enjoy your cooking outdoors again today. We are all jealous, because it looks so delicious. And but I appreciate everybody coming in. I know it's 1 o'clock already. Time just flies by. Hopefully next week I can tell you that I got my predators, that we have no more fox around and no more coyotes. So it's a little bit too much for me. Yeah, we didn't start until after Labor Day either, Christy. That was it. You just didn't. Bye, Kathy. So anyway, I will sign off and I will see you guys on either the next live, someone else's live. I think you can set your live to subscriber only and it will keep the bots out. I set mine to 1 minute. Okay, I'll do that, Chuck. I saw that when I was trying to set it up today and I kept thinking there was something else I had to do. Bye, Twin Brook. So nice to see you. It's nice to see you too, Christy. Thanks. I do need luck with the predators for sure. Because I don't enjoy sitting out there in the dark waiting. Um, but I hope you guys all have a good week, the rest of the week and a weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya. Bye, sis. Have fun camping. Oh, Chuck, you didn't miss a whole lot. We talked about the same things, but I'll check you on yours. Tell Miss Belinda hello.